Hello, good day, and thank you for joining us again in another episode or series of GitHub for data analysts and local developers. Today is going to be another time to learn something really exciting as you put, your skill of data analysis plus documentation to use. We believe by now you will have worked on one Power BI project or one data analysis project, and you are thinking, how do I get to document my project? Today, we're going to show you exactly how you get more reward from that project by properly documenting it right on GitHub. I have a special guest who is going to walk us through this and an interesting story to share about him. Just before I talk about my guest, let me quickly show you things that has to do with this series. In case you are not aware, this is GitHub for data analysts and local developer series on Microsoft Reactor channel, and is to help you upskill significantly as a data analyst. You don't want to be a data analyst for 2 years, 3 years, just learning. You want to put your skill to use, and from there get your dream job, or your dream role, or your dream promotion. Just want to significantly skill up. This is the channel for you, and this is a series for you. When you document your project on GitHub, you get two things. Number one, your project become visible to the 100 million active GitHub users community. If it's public, people can easily search and see it. If you make it public, or when you share with people, that's a potential addressable audience. And number two, you become the recruiter's choice, because when they go through your documented project, they just have a good impression about you and what you can do. So your interview, it's going to be more easy walkthrough, not guaranteed, but because you have something to showcase, they are convinced about your effort, and you don't need to tell them I can use GitHub. You've used it to do something. So again, that's the best way to showcase that. Apart from my data analysis skill, I also know how to use version control system. All right. So we have created use cases for you. Don't just want to show you how to document. In case you are looking for use cases to challenge yourself, Power BI data analysis or Power Application, project. Look at these use cases. The link is right on the screen, aka.ms/GitHub for me series. Yes, it is made for you so that you can skill up and grow in your career. In case you missed our session last today is on Monday, it is right there on Microsoft Reactor channel. And if you go to that GitHub for me series, aka.ms, you also see the link to view the video. So nothing is missed. We are here to help you grow, and I won't take any chance to let you miss any of those sessions. All right. And today, we believe you work on dashboard, as you can see right on the screen. After you build your report and dashboard, what next? What next? And that is why today we will be talking about exactly what next, because I will be introducing to you the guest, the person who will be facilitating this session today, a very interesting story about this person who is Benga Obikoya, also known as Data Doctor. As you can see right on the screen, see Data Doctor. Why Data Doctor? I'm going to talk briefly about him. Benga Obikoya is a dentist turned data analyst and RPA developer. Isn't that amazing? I could remember that in last year, June, during 30 days of learning, he participated, he built work, he documented things. And today, working with a tech startup in UK as a data analyst, someone who is a young dentist becoming a data analyst and being able to secure a job, even though he's based in Nigeria. He must have done something right, and that is why we have him on Discord to show us exactly, how was he able to document his project to get noticed, and he could even share some tips that can get you also noticed. Isn't that interesting? Benga is an enthusiast of SQL, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Power BI, Power Automate, and has acquired various skills in data analysis and applied them accordingly within a short period of time. And that's something really important there. Short period of time, and he has gotten a job, he's working now, he's vast. That's the kind of accelerated career we want you to have. And this is why this session is very important for you. Make sure you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's Microsoft Reactor, because this is what Reactor do. It helps you to kickstart and boost and accelerate your career through series of sessions that we have right here. He's a source of motivation to his colleagues. A lot of dentists are actually looking up. You mean you study dentist? Interesting. I have a lot to say about him. His goal is to become a multi-talented data evangelist and solution architect for Africa and Beyond, wow, he currently works as a data analyst as Datafy, England, United Kingdom. Hello, Benga. I mean, I've said so much. It really, I'm always excited anytime I'm having, a session or activity with you. And thank you for coming on board today. Hi, how are you
Yeah,
doing?
thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. I must say that I'm highly honored to be here. I mean, this is Microsoft's reactor. I'm highly honored.
Yeah.
Thank you for that great citation. My head should be about twice as big now.
Well, it's been already, but if you say
I
twice,
mean,
then
yeah, yeah. So I'm glad to be here, and I promise you guys a very insightful and educating session. Thank you.
okay, good. So we are ready to go. By the way, you can just launch us into this. I see your presentation is right on the screen. You can take us through this now.
All right. Good day once again, everyone. Highly honored to be here, and we'll be talking about GitHub documentation for Power BI data analyst. So you see that this is quite specific. You know, I mean, when you analyze with Python or whatever language or software, I mean, there's always this platform, that GitHub provides where you can integrate, just as it has been explained in the first session about GitHub and all about it, about committing and all that. But being a data analyst, you can be like, okay, I analyze with Power BI, we build a lot of dashboards, a lot of reports. How do I sync it with GitHub? And that's what this session would be all about. So that is it right there. We should get started. Okay, that's me and my bio. All right. All right. To start with, I mean, we do projects, right? I mean, quite a number of us, data analysts, enthusiasts, and data analyst students have been sensitized to doing projects. Now we do these projects, and they remain in our portfolio. Quite a number of students have come up to me and have checked their portfolio. It's just there. Nobody's looking at it. Nobody's, and a larger part of them don't even do projects. When you ask questions, they will say, okay, I have this certificate. Go and check a lot of profiles on LinkedIn of data analysts, aspiring data analysts, or data analytics enthusiasts. You see them write Google certified data analyst. By the time you go to the certification, you see the Coursera certification. That's quite good. That's a certificate of completion, not indeed a certification. Indeed, certificate and certification, they are both good, but they do not go a long way in this era of technology. You have to do projects and you have to make sure people see it. Why do I need projects? You might be asking. It serves as a source of motivation. All these I'm listing here are from experience. I mean, when you do projects, it's a source of motivation. It gives you self-confidence that, yes, this is what I've done. This is the problem I've solved. It grants credibility to you, especially when you post it on LinkedIn, and other social medias. You contact other data analysts to check it for you. That's what I do. It promotes inquiry. You make a lot of research, about Markdown, and all that. And it gives you a leverage, in a position whereby the opportunity of internship is available for you. If you are the type that you only do courses and certificates and all that, yeah, I'm sorry, it will be very, very almost impossible, to get an internship or a job. Yes. So let's move on. Yes, the objective of this session will be teaching you or be explaining step by step to you how to create a repository, how to edit your README file, how to update the sections. You're going to take some screenshots of your project. Take screenshots, images. How to put all that in the README file, and how to highlight your skills demonstrated, how to draw insights, and how to upload your file on the repository. All right, so this is just, a brief introduction about what GitHub is. It has been explained in the first session. And so it's a platform whereby you put, ideally you put codes, you host your codes on it, where, for collaborations, other developers can check and make adjustments, without affecting yours. That is what GitHub is. But as a matter of fact, it can also be leveraged for data analysis project as well. Yes. Yes, so we've been talking about README file here and there. What is README file? README file is just a file. It is just a file. And in a file you put, it's a document. I will say that README file is the house where your documentation lives. Yes, it's a house. You tell people that, okay, I've done this. This is my visualization. This is my report. Give me feedback on it, like we see on LinkedIn. But do you document it somewhere, explaining explicitly, where you got the data from, how you modeled it, how you came about the visualizations, how you came about the conclusions and all that. So it's in a document whereby you write everything synchronizingly. So that document or that file is called the README file, which is a component of GitHub. And the language in which you write it, just like we said here, that's a markdown. All right. I'm going to show you that very soon. Good. Now, in that file, just like letter, formal letter, informal letter, all right? So there should be an anatomy, there should be a structure. You are a data analyst and you should be one of the most organized, all right? So the anatomy of a README file for Power BI project, within that README file, how are you going to structure your documentation? You start with introduction, of course, the problem statement, because as a matter of fact, whatever project you do should point to solving a problem, whether it is imaginary, using a dummy data set, doesn't matter. It should point to solving a problem, to the extent that when recruiters see your project, when recruiters see your GitHub documentation, okay, they are quite convinced, they can give you a try, So problem statement, skills demonstrated, you put it there. Data sourcing, where did you get data from? Was it from a website or whatever? Was it from Twitter? Was it from YouTube and all that? Data transformation, how did you transform it in Power BI? Modeling, how did you model it? Your analysis and visualization, where you put screenshots, of specific tiles, reports, yes, and visualizations. Then you conclude and give recommendation. All right, so here I'm going to be showing you some of the projects I've done. I'll be showing just two: sales dashboard and Twitter dashboard. Now, when I show you this, okay, reports really, because dashboards are, in the context of Power BI, dashboards are they visualize live data, streaming data. Okay, so we can as well call this reports. Now, when I'm going to show you two projects: the sales dashboard or the Twitter report. I think I'm supposed to share my screen now. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now to show you what I've done, that documentation, how it is, before we move on to doing the hands-on right away. All right, so I'll be sharing my screen. Yeah, sorry. Report, Power BI report. All right, I hope my screen is up now. All right, so this is GitHub, right? This is the repository. This is the name of the repository, Power BI report. Yes, can I get a feedback, please? That my screen.
Yeah, your screen is up. Yeah, it's up.
All right, thank you. So this is one. The Power BI report, you can see. Now look at this. All this you have here, these are files. These are images which I uploaded to the repository that I'm going to use. And all these things I uploaded, you're going to see it in the README file. So this is a README file, okay? So you can see it's readme.md markdown. This is where you edit. But let's just go through. Now look at the title. This is Global Superstore Sales Analysis for 2016. Just a picture, introduction. You can see all that. Power BI concepts applied. You can see that. So you must be very detailed. Power BI concept applied, all listed.
Can you
so
try to zoom?
statements.
Can you try to zoom just to maybe make it bigger? Awesome, so that
Yeah, is this cool?
good. Yes,
All right.
cool.
So the introduction, the problem statements, just the problem statements, and entails quite a number of questions about the data, which can simulate when you are in a real working on a real industry. They can come up to you and ask you questions. It is your responsibility to go and get the data and solve that question, and give data-driven decisions. Now, the data sourcing, that is, where did I get the data from? All these were mentioned here. It contains 3 sheets or tables, all mentioned with the rows and columns. Yes, data transformation. Yes, you can see this now. This is like a measure that I did here, put in a code. You can see. All right, so yeah, and like that. Data modeling. This is one of the great highlights of Power BI. So it's cool. This is nothing really, but it's something to document. I've done this for a while now, but it's something to document. I'm gonna tell you something about this project specifically. Yes, and this is what I built. This is a visual, and all this. This visual specifically earned me about 200 followers on LinkedIn. This simple thing, you can imagine. So, and that was that. All right. So, um,
So,
yeah, I would.
sorry, before you share the second one, if I may quickly
All right.
jump in here, I'm asking a question and I want you to respond in the comments. Have you documented the Power BI project on GitHub before? Yes or no? Just type yes or no, just to know if you've done things like that before. And do you see, you have your dashboard, right? You have your report. But with what Data Doctor have shown us, it is the thought process that shows the quality of the skill you have acquired. And while it was running that, there's a structure, there's a framework to it. What is the background to what you're doing? What are the questions you're trying to answer? What is the skill that you learned or you were able to showcase during the course of working on this project? Oh, I was able to showcase data modeling skill or complex dash query. You can actually put that particular dash query there so that you learn how to use this and you're able to apply it there. And you move on to explain where did you source the data, what were the manipulation you did, some Power Query screenshot, you can take it in case you apply those things. What you are doing here is this: you are trying to convince recruiter and potential recruiter that you are not just concerned about visuals. Any project people do today that you can't document in this way, then you are just trying to show beautiful things. That could be beautiful nonsense, because what you have built is it literally answering the question for the business. So if you build something is flashy, is beautiful, is fine, but there's a business question and you can't answer them from the dashboard, then it's beautiful nonsense. So you are trying to let them know that you know how to do visuals, but more importantly, you can use it to answer business problems, which is what business needs. So it's really exciting. Oh, going over to you,
Yeah, thank you very much. This I will be sharing here is one of my best visualizations. I must say that.
I love it too. I love it. It's amazing.
One of my best visualizations. And yes, I must mention that one of the events organized by Microsoft, we call that, what was that? 30 days of learning. Yes, those were my early days of data analysis. And you can
Amazing.
imagine I did something like this. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so this is a repository. Here, this Twitter analysis projects, as you have seen. And these are little files, uploaded pictures and the screenshots. Now, look at this. This is Twitter analysis project. Look at this. This is the home page of that. Because of time, I would have gone to Power BI service to interact with it so that you will see. These are buttons, this tweet summary, content analysis are buttons. One thing you must also include and take note of when you're doing projects, especially when it comes to visualizations or Power BI specific, it must be user friendly. Very, very important. These are the things that can capture the mind of recruiters, really. It must be user friendly. Look at something like this. I mean, imagine the way, the back end is, it's not as smooth as this. So once the user clicks on tweet summary, takes that person to the page, right? Clicks on content analysis, takes it to the page, so take note of that, please. So the introduction, you must explain. The report consists of 3 pages, and that's what we've mentioned here. The problem statement, like I said, data sourcing. Yes, this was by, this is Jupyter Notebook, goes to that, the main file, but this is screenshots of how I scrape the data. Data transformation, data modeling. There was no modeling because it was just a table and no need for modeling. Analysis and visualization, you can see, this is the tweet summary page, right? And that is that. So these are also for navigation. This home page, this next you have in here for navigation. All those were explained. I explained that here. The insights 1 to 6, like I mentioned. Then the content analysis. This is it. You can see the home page. So page navigation is quite important, for project for user-friendly project. So that's the word cloud there, and that is it. Then I moved on. Let me show you some things here. So this was the 30 days of learning, like I said. In conclusion, you have to be flexible with your project. Don't make it, just so strict and stereotypic. You can go anyway. Look at this Onyiboke because he was the convener of that program.
This is
And
me. I can see myself here. Interesting.
that's Oyinboke right there. And yes, here we were trying to scrape data about users and the devices used. And from the data, we got to know that Android users are the most because majority of the learners are from Nigeria. So Android users are the most. And look at what I said here. Therefore, they should be considered for that is the Nigerians, those that use Android, in the choice of required software and applications. As a matter of fact, the program as a whole has to be Android compatible. This is Nigeria. You can see this is smiley. This is an emoji, right? Yes, that is what I want to show you. This is another one. Okay, so there are a lot to do in Markdown. So you can interact here. So this link will take you to the Power BI service for the person to interact. Thank you for following through. This is a documented. This is what we call a project. This is what a documented project should look like, right?
Amazing.
So you see that I'm quite skipping. I'm trying to be as fast as possible because I want to work
Yes.
on one so that we'll do it together.
Yes, and in fact, I'm excited already. So, can you just in 1 or 2 minutes share how has this documented project, have they impacted your career? Maybe your interview process you've had in the past, maybe the job you've got. Do you see this documented project playing any role, or just to share this? With us?
To start with, when I started learning data analysis, I never had anything in mind like, would I ever be able to use GitHub? We are just working on Excel, Power BI. But I put myself in a community, where we're highly enlightened. Part of it is the Microsoft Learn, and other things, especially the ones orchestrated by Olanrewaju. You particularly are the one that actually inspired me to do a project. And what I've noticed is that for every next project I do, there's always something that is already part of me. Whatever gave me problem in the previous project would never be a problem now. You get what I'm talking about. So for every project I do, there's an improvement in skill. There's a more acquisition. Olanrewaju already knows. Many times I'll message him, I could not do this, I can't do this. He solves that, and whatever he solves, I will not ask him again because I will know it and I will master it. So ideally, it gives me credibility. And when I'm approached, by recruiters about what I've done, because another thing is that project is something to present as experience. Okay, so I will tell them, I've been working. They will ask me, for how long have you been working with Power BI? I can say, okay, I've been working with Power BI for over 1 year. Can you imagine? And I've not actually worked for any company, but I've worked for the company of GitHub on my ReadMe file. Do you get that? So yeah, I can claim that and say, okay, what are the things you've done? Okay, I've done this. This is how I came about it. This is how I did this. These are the limitations. It gives credibility and gives some sense of security to the recruiters. Yeah.
Amazing, and thank you. I wonder if you are approached by a recruiter and say, "What have you done?" And all you could do is to send them your CV because you have listed your project on your CV. Where can we find this project? Or you refer them to LinkedIn posts where you just have the screenshot, or you refer them to a Power BI service that you publish. Meanwhile, yes, you can refer them to that, but that is not as detailed as having that thought process, captured in what you've shown us. I am excited and I cannot wait. So let's get to action. Let's see how you're going to walk us through this process. In case, after this session, everybody, people that are watching right now, they want to go ahead, go back to the project they've done and document on GitHub. What would the process look like? Over to you, Benga.
Yeah, back to the presentation. I want to complete that in as fast as possible. Is the presentation visible here?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So we've shown that, and yes, these are documentation procedures. When you have your Power BI project, the first thing you want to do, when you have confirmed and you are okay, you are happy with the visualization, is to publish. Very, very important. That's the first thing you want to do. You publish it, okay? Then you take screenshots of the highlights, the tiles and all that. Then you have your GitHub, go to the README file, start documenting, you upload all those files. All right, so that's what we're gonna do right away. So is your project ready? Let's document. Okay, so I will share my screen now. Okay, So to get started with the magic of Markdown, yeah.
All right.
Yes, is my screen up now?
Yes, your screen is up.
All right, so we want to cook, okay, like we say in Nigeria, we want to cook. We've got our ingredients. Let me show you some of my ingredients, okay. Yes, this is Power BI, Power BI service. This is what I'm uploading. This is the visualization I just built within a week, I guess. Yes, so this is it. Let me quickly show you how to interact with it. This hamburger here will show filters. You can see that this is a drop down of the countries or cities, so to speak. This is the month. With this X icon, you can close the filters. You can see that you let's connect. This goes to my LinkedIn, I think.
Sorry, Wenga.
Yeah.
Maybe does that open a new tab, because I can only see repository here, and
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
So you might have to share maybe your window so that we can see all, in case, or share just your browser. When you present, you can share just the browser so that any tab you move across the browser, we can see that activity. I'm already excited. I
Sorry.
mean, and the good thing here is this. I just want to mention, I see people who love this presentation, says it's inspiring. Thank you for sharing, your thoughts are around this. Can we get a link to your project? So please do ask questions,
Yeah.
because I'm
So
going to be answering your question. Yes, we'll get a
yeah,
link to his project. You can follow him. Yes, I
is
think
my
it's
screen
back
visible now?
now. Yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
visible.
So people are not seeing. Okay, okay, okay. What I'm cooking. Okay. All right. So this is what we are. This is what we are documenting. I'll be doing it as fast as possible because without doing that, the time is not on our side. Yes. So this is the report, right? So to speak. As you can see, look at some things here. This customer history is a tab. Now look at hovering. This is what we call hovering effect. Okay, hover the cursor on it, and it brightens out. This is another one: transaction history and warehouse, and all these are buttons. You click this, opens another one for you. Okay, and you look at this pointer as it moves. You click this, opens another one. Click this, opens for warehouse, and you can see that the colors are synchronizing, right? Colors are synchronizing, green, like so. Just giving you some insights on how to build a wonderful
This amazing
um,
attention to details. I
report.
never noticed, but I'm happy. I'm happy to see
So
this.
like that and like that. So now looking at this hamburger here, this hamburger is a button, right? Button that goes to open this filter. You know, yes. So these are the cities or the countries, so to speak. This is the month filters. This is a disclaimer to say that all the data sets are not real. They're just for practice. And this closes the filters. Okay. This is to connect to my LinkedIn, I guess. This is to the Microsoft Reactor Live, and this is to learn more on Power BI. Yes. So this is what we are uploading. Okay. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Now let me get back to. Sorry. Now let me get back to. Yeah, my repository. Is this open now? Can we see this?
Yes, I can see your
So let's get
profile
started.
on GitHub.
Yeah. So you click, sorry, I'm supposed to be explaining all this step by step. You click new,
Okay.
new. New here opens the repository for you. Before you go there, when you open your GitHub profile, your GitHub page, you're going to see all these tabs. Overview, repository. Click repository, gives you the list of repositories. If you have any, come to new to create a new repository. So you put in your name. So let's call that Microsoft Reactor demo, right? Yes, auto reactor demo, that is that. So make sure this is on public, right? Because what we are doing is publicize. You have no business with private as a student or an enthusiast. Yes, add a README file. This is the most important thing. Without adding this, you won't have your README file in your project. So you move on, you create repository, as simple as that. Okay. Yes, look at what it does for us. GitHub, what it does for you is that it gives you a title, gives a title to your README file, from what? From the name you provided as the name of your repository, right? So that's what it does for you, which is here. You can always edit it while we are editing. But next, after you open this ReadMe file, the next thing you want to do is to add all those files, the images, the screenshots, and all that, because that's what you're going to use in documenting. Okay, so you come here, add file, just upload the files. You can drag and drop, just come here. So you can imagine now I've put everything in one folder, so sorry. Yes, this is everything here. Yes, so we can just click everything. Let's say this intro page, products. These are the pictures we'll be uploading, so you can just drag, just bring it down here, and that's it. So it's uploading, it's uploading. So while it's uploading, I will explain to you, look at the name, look at the name, very important for you not to be having errors. Look at the name of each file, each screenshot, each picture, and all that. You see that the name, don't put a space in between, otherwise the Markdown will not recognize it as a name. So these are actually links, and look at this, the PNG, take notes of all that. So our files are uploaded. Let's commit changes. So to have it in your repository, you have to commit every change you make, you have to commit it. All right, so yes, so this is, you can imagine, this is amazing. This was initially empty and all the files are here now. Now let's start documenting, right? This pen, of course, we know that is the icon to start documenting. Yes, very importantly, yes, so this is, we want to start documenting. You can see what is here. From here, I'm going to be showing you some of the languages, some of the techniques to go about Markdown language. Okay, but one other technique I want to mention, we are going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem because we'll be needing the names of those files, and there's no way to get it here. Otherwise, we'll have to be going back and forth. So what we do is we come back here. Okay, we go back to the repository. Yeah, I go to file, opening new link. Can you see now? So the files are on one tab, right? So I'll be working on another tab. So these are the ways to go about things, not to waste much time. So this hash you are seeing here is for headers. Okay, so the more the hash, the smaller the size, of the header. So when you do this, you say that you say two hashes. Now this is the this file. This is where you write every language, everything about the language, and this is the preview. This is the beauty of it. If as you are editing, you are checking it out in the preview. You come to preview, you will see. Look at it. This is for one hash. This is for what? Two hashes. You can see that is what smaller. Just to show you that. So because of time, I've already documented all the things I will be putting up here. All right. Now, what I want is that after this introduction, I can edit it and save, because that is not it. The name of that of the store is confirm stores. Let's just say analysis. Okay, so I won't be previewing everything because of time, just to show you. You can see confirm stores analysis. Now, what I want after this is that I want there to be an home page, something to just an image. Now, for every image, this is how you write image in Markdown. You write exclamation, okay, then square brackets, then parentheses. You can see. You see that the color, probably I should zoom a bit, okay. So you can see that the color has changed here. This to show that a link should go in here. Now, where is the link coming from? This link is the path, the path of that file. Now, what is the file? The file here is what? intro_image JPEG, So you come here, just put intro_image .jpg. You're going to see the magic right now. Can you see that? So this is the image you want to appear here. Let's preview. Wow, amazing. You can see that. Amazing. All right, so I'm just going to continue to do my magic. Now, I want to start with, I mentioned the anatomy, right? Introduction and all that. So I've documented everything here. You can see that. So for introduction, So we're going to reduce the size a bit. So by reducing the size, just like you guessed, we increase the number of what? Hash, right? And we say introduction. All right. You can see that. So, and that is that. Okay. So put our introduction that we have here. You just come here, you copy. All right. So, and that is it. Okay. Yes. Let's come here. This is a Power BI project on sales analysis of an imaginary store called Confirm Stores, because this is the name of the store. Okay. We want to bold it. All right. So how you bold? Like some of you have guessed, those that are familiar with Markdown or Python, you use what? Two asterisks, okay? Two asterisks. You're going to see all that later. And you can go to the next line here and say that, yes, for this disclaimer, we're going to make this italics, right? So you can say one asterisk, or let's say one underscore. An underscore and asterisk works for it, and underscore. And at the same time, I want to bold it. So you say two asterisk, okay, two asterisk, and that is it. All right. So for this, all these lines, we can make it italics and just doing this, and that is that. We are done with introduction. You can imagine. So
Sorry, Benga, just to say
yes,
this thing is even close to what I do when I'm editing on WhatsApp. If you use this,
exactly.
underscore,
Yes,
it's also
yes,
going to italicize. If you want to
yes,
both use one asterisk, but here you use two asterisk, very close to language,
yes.
what we do every day, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
awesome.
Yes. So the next thing should be, I'm just going to be copying everything because of time. Yes. Next is problem statements. All right. So just for consistency, let the titles be. And um, when you put an header like maybe hash or two hashes, automatically this is what the Markdown would do for you. It will bolden this, and at the same time it will rule a line under it. So you don't need to rule any line again. For instance, if we want a line to be under this picture, we can just come down here. Once you put three dashes, okay, or three asterisks or three underscores, that's a line. All right, let me quickly preview that so you see that before we start. You can see confirm stores analysis. So we didn't put a line, and this was automatic. And this is the line that we just drew. You can see it here. We didn't put a line here. This was automatic. This is a disclaimer, as you can see, bold and italics, and these are the rest italics. Okay, so I think we can go on. Yes, so these are the magic sphere. Now, the next thing you are doing is what? Problem statements, right? Problem statements, statements. Okay, so that is that. And let's paste this. And so for problem statements, if I have enough time, I would have, find something to say, maybe a story or something. But here, look at this. This is what they call ordered list. Okay, 1, 2, 3. By just writing one space and you write 2, 3, it orders it. Okay, we are going to move to the unordered, and we'll show you how it is done. That is the bullets. Okay, in Markdown. So we are done with the problem statements. Let's talk about the skills, and that's how you document. You go on like that. You paste this on time. You put your two asterisks here. You can see that, and you put this. The foreign Power BI. The foreign Power BI features were incorporated. Now let's do unordered here. What you do is you put a dash, you put a space. You can see. That. So you go on like that. Let's just. Ideally, I shouldn't do this, but just to show you. Is to capital. You can see, so the dash is consistent and like that, to show you all that. So let's just preview. Can you see bulletin? You can see this beautiful bullet. So one very important and amazing thing about this concept is that you appreciate what you write, instantly, and this doesn't give error like Python or whatever. It's very simple and the result is amazing. All right, we move on to modeling. Okay, copy all this. Modeling. Okay, so of course, what we're going to do here, two, asterisks. Good. Now we are here. Automatically derived relationships are adjusted to remove and replace unwanted relationships with the required relationships. I hope this is explanatory. Um, Here, I just put this here. Let me read this. When you upload data in Power BI, okay, ideally, what happens is that Power BI automatically, creates what relationships, that possible relationships. But at the end of the day, you might not need some relationships might be so useless or not useful for you. So what you do is you remove those relationships and you replace them with yours, right? So what I want to do is I want to put a picture, a screenshot of the automatically derived relationships on one side, and just beside it, a picture, a screenshot of the one that I just created myself. I hope that's quite straightforward. Now, this is what we'll do. We'll say that let's say adjusted model. Let's call it adjusted model there, and have a tab, and let's say yes, this, and a tab, and let's say auto model. That is for auto model. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to see the magic we're going to create now. Now here we're going to do this a lot like this, go on like this. Let's do this. Do this. You can see. If you ask me how I did this, how I know all these things, I don't even know. I knew it. For whoever is keen with learning, you're going to know a lot of things without you knowing. Yes, you
You
can
just
see
figure
this.
it out, or when you need to do something, you always find the content that will enable you to get it done. And
Exactly,
I like
exactly.
that today now you can do it comfortably because you see it and you've
So
applied
okay, so
it.
adjusted model. We come here. We come and what's the name? Adjusted model dot what? PNG. Put it here. Add adjusted underscore model dot PNG. Right, and that is it. Here we can add some more. Put some more tabs here. So here, do the same thing. So here you come and look at the auto model, right? .png, say auto model .png. I hope there's no mistake here. So, all right. So look at what we just did now. So this would be like so ideally this is a table, okay? When you want to write tables in using Markdown, this is how you go about it. Okay, this is a table, but this is going to be a picture and a picture. All right. So let's see how it goes. I hope it works out. So that doctor won't have issues. All right, so loading preview. Okay. Can you see? Ideally, I wanted it to be side by side, but let's just leave that. We'll adjust that later. Yes, you can see those two pictures here. Adjusted model.
Yeah,
Ideally, this is it
yeah,
here.
everything is
Ideally,
in a
this
single
should be
column.
here.
I think, yeah, if you go back to
And
the
that's because of
code,
the spacing, I think. I think it's because of the spacing.
yeah, you need
Um,
to space the code as well.
exactly, exactly.
So you didn't add, yeah, you should add that. Yeah, no,
So we're
no,
gonna have
it's within. You need to add that line within the first and the second one. There should be maybe what they call it, that straight line now to divide the first value from the
exactly.
second
Thank
value.
you, thank you. I
Yeah.
think all right. Yeah. So let's see how it goes. Wow, this is beautiful. You can see this. So adjusted model, very easy to navigate and and check out. Adjusted model, auto model, and that's how you move on to documents. Step by step like that and like that. You know.
To be
So
honest,
like that.
this is
Yes.
really beautiful.
You can always continue. You can continue and put your double that. Just continue. Modeling, visualization, and that's how you continue. All those pictures, you put it there. I don't know, maybe I should continue. I think the concept has been understood right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Please continue. If you could add maybe a few more just to wrap it up. I'm sure what you
okay,
have is
okay,
not
okay.
long. If you can just complete it, it will be awesome so that they can follow that same structure and do theirs. I think we still have buffer for some minutes to capture this. still
All
have
right.
about 10
So
minutes to capture this.
okay, so let's paste this. So talking about visualization, that is, I mean, what you just did. The report comprises 4 pages, okay? And these are the pages. Like I said, this is a ordered list, another list. So you can interact with the report here. You can see that. Now you can put the link here, okay? Sorry. Trying to get the link right now. Okay, so you can have the link here. Okay, so that link, you know what this link is? This link is the link from the Power BI service, right? Yes, that's the link. So we can just say this something has happened right now. I've forgotten how to put link in this. I hope I'm right. Okay, so this here now is going to be the hyperlink, so this will be clickable on the preview. All right, so you can move on. So the image of customer, so we can start putting all these pictures to put, trying to explain, yeah, so we're trying to explain here, we're trying to explain this image of customer history. So this is guiding me, that documentation in that word, MS Word, is guiding me to know the next thing. Okay, so I come here to get the customer history.png. So I put it there. So like that, your documentation will be robust. Okay, so we say that customer history .png. Yes, and that's it. My history.png confirmed. So this shows the picture. I'm trying to explain the features, the hamburger, like I showed you guys, the X button, the 4 tabs, you explain all that, well detailed. Okay, you're coming to the analysis part. So let's just copy everything here, copy everything down. Good. So I have everything in our ReadMe file, and we work with it, and we round it off there. Okay, so features, the analysis, this should be a topic, this should be a title as well. You can see that. So customer history, put an image here. This is the same thing with this. Let's just leave that because there's no need for that. Yes, the product catalog. Product catalog. Let's put 3. Let's do this for customer history. Let's put 3 hashes. See, for the images, we'll put the image right here. So product catalog, that's just product, just PNG. So do this product.png. Okay, so and that's how it goes, and you explain for transaction, same thing goes. 3 hashes, 1, 2, 3. It goes like this. You put it here. Transaction. Where is it? Transaction. You see? .png. So transaction.png. See, so you try quite to explain, each of those styles, those visuals. You put these to warehouse .png. Okay, and be rest assured that when your preview doesn't work as expected, you've definitely made a mistake, you go back and you check it out. Yes, conclusion and recommendations, and that is all. In fact, I'm glad I could complete this. Yes, conclusion and recommendation, you go back to our double hashes, to synchronize with the rest. Yes, so recommendation now. Okay, so you can do that. You can say that let's put an hash as well. This is for a deep dive into the analytics. The data sets might require a previous year, for comparison. And that is what we have done here. So here, let me add something. We can add an emoji to it. What is that emoji? This is how you add emoji. You do this, you can say, let's say smile, and see that. You see, it's beautiful. I never even know that. I never knew GitHub already has this IntelliSense for it. When I was doing mine, it wasn't like that. For here, let's add a nerdy face, right? Nerdy face. Can you imagine? Can you see? Can you see? You see, this is beautiful, just like WhatsApp. All right, I think I've learned something here as well. So let's preview. Let's see what we have done so far. Okay. So the customer stores analysis, you know, have a beautiful picture. This is so enticing. Introduction, the problem, you know, look at disclaimers. We have the ordered list, you know, the headers. These are the what unordered lists. Modeling side by side, adjusted and auto model. This is what you can imagine. Look at some unwanted relationships there. Yes, and very importantly, before I drop here, the model is a star schema, right? You have to put it. Okay, yeah, star and not a snowflake schema. Visualization, you can see 4 pages. You can interact here. Okay, this will go to another, to the Microsoft Power BI service. Okay, so yeah, this is it. Okay, and the product catalog, you can see the transaction history. Look at the emoji transaction history. You can see that. The warehouse, you can see it. We didn't put our hash here, and that's why it's not bold. You can see this. In conclusion, you can add another picture, thank you, whatever, and you come here to commit your changes, saving, and that ends the documentation. Okay.
Wow.
So to
Wow.
round off, let me just stop sharing right now and complete and complete the
Slide.
presentation. The slide. All right, so this is the markdown. This is a markdown cheat sheet. Okay, so you can see headers and all that. Just Google it. You must be a Googler. If that is correct, you must have that skill. If you want to really make it in tech, you must have that skill to solve problems on your own. Okay, so I guess that was quite easy, right? I guess that was quite easy, and you can all do it. You can do it. I hope this session has been able to trigger you and encourage you to harness the ability to express yourself, because the world doesn't favor the most knowledgeable, it favors the most articulate. Okay, so that's what you need right now. So thanks for listening, guys, and this was a nice session.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. This is really impressive. Thank you very much, Benga. See, what you've just done here, you've literally helped a career. And I'm telling you, because today we have loads of people that have dashboard projects that they've done, but they didn't get that visibility, or they could not get as much accolade that they should or that they deserve, because they were unable to tell the story of how much of work went into that project. But if you can follow the structure that Data Doctor guided us through, you will know that there is no way you can hide the effort. The effort will be visible, because you are segmenting them in sessions. I can confirm that, yes, you know modeling now because of the things you put there. Many people just do dashboard and connect to one single Excel file every time, and you think you are advanced. No, so it's not. So, but
Yeah.
documenting and showing that, oh, there are multiple tables involved. This is the auto generated, but I have to adjust it to. Then you know how to model. That's how you show. It's not, nobody sees what is behind those things if you are not documenting it and telling the story the way Bengas showed us. You see, you don't need to write any code. It is also possible to do the same thing by writing complex codes, pushing, do all those things. But why? You need to something that is working for you to get your project out there, and you can boldly put the link to that repository in your CV. When you write the project you worked on, the project title, hyperlinked it to that repo, so that when recruiter clicked on it, they can be convinced of your effort beyond just saying the name or the title of the project you worked on. When you get invited for an interview, you just see them asking, oh, I see this your project, I see, because now the conversation is in favor of you, because they have something to drive to talk about. unlike when they cannot really visualize how skillful you are. You see, so I want to employ you to make the effort now. Go ahead and start documenting your project. And the good news here is this: we have a session for you, where you can actually share what you have documented. And if is selected, you'll be brought to life like this. About five or 4 or 5 people will be invited to Microsoft Reactor live session, where you also talk through your own solution. That gives you visibility to a global audience. Imagine that, right? And beyond that, we're also going to make sure in the community there's Microsoft Power BI community call every month. If you are selected, we will find a slot for you so that you can also showcase what you've done to that amazing community of professionals. So go ahead and work on this project that we have given to you. There's some couple of projects we have for you. Let me see those projects again. Let me go there. Here are the projects. Or maybe you have worked on projects on yourself before, you've never documented them. We want you to go ahead and document it. If you are looking for, when I'm done documenting, where should I drop the link to my repository? Go to this link here, aka.ms/GitHub for me series. You will see on that page, you will see the link that takes you to where you can make your submission the moment you have answered your own question, the moment you have documented your project. Okay, so right now I want to take 1 or 2 questions. I've also asked for you to, on a scale of 1 to 10, how really helpful do you think this session is? Thank you everyone for really, for responding and letting us know that it is helpful for you, and we're happy. So let's take quick questions for the next couple of minutes, like 4 minutes to go. So I'm going to be going through. This is a 10. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. This is perfect. I see this comment here. This is perfect. I thought people were doing magic on the GitHub. I love this new knowledge. Amazing. Amazing. And I see this knowledge really opening doors and breaking, doors for you in your career, because now you can showcase more than you were doing before. So we want to take questions. Thank you very much, guys. God bless you. Thank you, Oluwada Milola. This is amazing. Awesome. Being a compliment. You've got an excellent presentation skill. Right, let me quickly go through this if there are questions. Okay, so there's a thought here question. So please, publishing your Power BI from desktop to the Power BI service, must it be a paid account? Yes. So you need a work account or paid Power BI Pro account for you to be able to publish your Power BI on desktop. Power BI desktop is free, but for you to interact with the one in the service, which is online, it is paid account. And the advantage of the online, it will allow you, one, to create a dashboard. Dashboard is different from report. So, but those are concepts within Power BI. Report is what you do within your desktop. All you created in desktop, you are authoring a report, and dashboard is a collection of KPIs, 1 or 2 KPI. Just want them to focus on. You can pin, dashboard from your report to a KPI, and someone can maybe someone is interested in just 2 figures instead of all the things we have here. So those are dashboard that people get. You can create that in Power BI service. You'll be able to share publicly your project, like the way Genga added that link. Now you can click on the link and it shows you, this is your Power BI. You can interact with the report. Power BI service allows that, and many more. And for you to have access to it, you can create a Microsoft 365 developer account. So on that same page, aka.ms/GitHub for me series, we're going to put the link that can lead you to create and set up Microsoft 365 developer account. The moment you set up that account, it will allow you to, because for learning purposes, then you can use it to sign in to your Microsoft Power BI desktop. Then easily you can publish, you can share, and enjoy those services. Awesome. I think I kind of explained some part of it now. Okay. Thanks for the presentation. What roadmap will you advise as a beginner to follow in order to start the data analysis journey? So I will recommend you maybe start with the 30 days of data, analysis, which we have on Microsoft on the tech community. I think what you should do is please visit the link aka.ms/GitHub for me series. because on this page, every details you are asking now, the forthcoming session, we have another session on Friday. This session will be added to this particular page. The one we had on Monday, 2 days ago, that introduced people to GitHub, is going to be there. How do I set up M365 developer account? You find it there. How do I questions around how do I take part in the project? Where are the project I can work on? You find those projects there. Oh, I've documented my project on GitHub. Where can I submit, my repository link so that you guys can access it and help me showcase it? The link is also there. Can you document more than one? Yes, as many projects that you worked on, we want you to document them and go ahead and submit via the link. But everything can be found on this page. I'm also going to drop it right here in the link here just before we end the session. So from here, any final word from you, Benga?
Yeah, thank you, Ella. I would just like to say that for whoever is aspiring to be a data analyst and trying to go via all these routes of projects and all that, you are really on the right track. Because, like it is said, data is the new oil. But I will add that data is crucial to every sector. You can imagine, look at Nigeria as a case study, look at the election that is going. It means data can do a lot of things. Data can make or mar. So just relax, take your time and master every skill, and the sky will be your limit. Thank you.
Amazing. And please don't forget to like, share. I mean, it's important so that more people can reach this. Keep this, bookmark it. And on Friday, we'll meet again. This time around, we'll be sharing how to document your Power Application project. So, similar to this session, but when you join that one, you might also learn more because you are seeing this thing being done repeatedly and you're getting more used to that process. So, I want you to join. I want you to be there. And from our hand here, we're going to be waving to you and say bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.